Hello and welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our eBay store and our Facebook page. And the first thing you're going to be wondering, this is not a Japanese figurine. This is, I guess, something that I've sort of been doing personally and have kind of been airing it through the Figuring Out Japan channel. But this is, of course, a vintage Lego pirate set, and I've been collecting quite a few of these and have done reviews of them, so I'll put links to all the videos in the description of this video, including a YouTube for Skull's Eye Schooner, and I'm pretty excited because this is also, I believe, a YouTube first video or review of this particular set, which just amazes me because it's such an important set in kind of the history of Lego. And it's the first time that somebody's actually going to do a review of it. I'll just start panning the camera around as I talk. So this Lego originally released the Lego Pirates series in 1989, and that was the blue coats that they had, the Imperial Guards. And then it was very popular, and they started to release the second wave of Pirates in the early 90s, and this was part of the second wave of Pirates, so Pirate series rather, in the early 90s. And this set in particular is actually quite important for a number of reasons, because firstly it is the largest base of either the Pirates or the Imperial Soldiers that's ever been released over the years of Pirates. The Pirate series. It was also the largest Imperial Soldier set. It was even bigger than any of the sets released, both in size and number of pieces, until the massive ship that was released in 2010, which is about 700 pieces bigger than any other set released in the Pirate series. So that one kind of doesn't count. But yeah, and it's also a very unique set because it actually is the only set in the series that actually brings in this third element of having merchants and traders. And it's kind of a shame that Lego didn't explore this theme a little more, because it sort of depicts this whole, pirates versus soldiers and pirates looking for treasure with an X on the map. But in reality, pirates found their treasure, in inverted commas, by actually looting and stealing, merchant ships. That was how they got their stuff. And so the role of the Imperial Navy, I guess, or the soldiers, was really to protect trade routes and facilitate trade. And people were laughing about the whole Somalian pirates things a few years ago, but that's pretty much what pirating is. And trade by shipping was and still is one of the most the most important thing for trade. So it's a bit of a shame they didn't explore that theme a little bit more. But this set, as I said, the only set that actually has trades people, I guess. So I'll just sort of keep painting the. Now this set is actually pretty expensive to get, I guess, for some of the reasons that I was saying before. And the ships tend to sell for a premium with the Pirate series, but this particular base seems to still fetch quite a lot of money. It's quite an expensive one to get. So I think that's kind of the history, I guess, of this particular set. So now let me actually talk about what's good, or what I think could have been done maybe a little bit better with this set. So first, probably my biggest complaint with this set is that it actually doesn't have a prison. It is, pretty much any pirate base has a prison for the soldiers, or the soldier bases have a prison for the pirates. This one doesn't, and I really would have liked to have seen it maybe like here. You could have had like a prison, and then maybe had all this sort of part like a walkway, and sort of connect these two towers and make like a courtyard. I would have liked to have seen that. I know it's already a very big set, but still, it's only just over 600 pieces. So some of the big pirate ships were over 900 pieces. So they could have added maybe Like, it wouldn't have taken more than 100 pieces to add all that in there, and that would look really cool. But you know, if you buy like maybe an Eldorado Fortress, maybe you could get one cheap that's not complete. You could pretty much just carbon copy, you know, put the prison in there, because it also sits on the same base. It uses the same base as this one, same colors as well, and you could just put that in there. So doesn't have a prison. Could have made it a little bit more built up and bigger there. But I do like the fact how they actually have this cannon here, and I might talk about that a little bit later. The second thing is, what else was I going to say? Oh, just a little thing, but I would have liked to have seen a little flag. There's no little flag in this set. Would have been nice to have maybe a little flag here, just to sort of highlight it more. Maybe even have like a third level here. It's quite, you know, it's quite nice that you've got the three towers, and they all sort of are roughly the same height, but since this is the central focal point of the set, they could have maybe added an extra tower in there and maybe had like an execution platform for something. Probably a little bit gory for a kid's set, but you know, they could have had like Captain Roger on like an execution platform with two, you know, soldiers there or something. But again, that's something pretty easy. Just a suggestion, because I think it does aesthetically look quite good. The other sort of odd thing actually with the pirate boat is that you'll notice that it has red and white sails, and that's kind of an overhang of the original Pirates series, which actually had the Pirates ships with red and white sails. But in this particular sort of second wave of Pirates, they used black and white, so I was surprised that they kind of used the old pirate sail with the new Imperial Soldiers, and so you have this weird mix of, you know, them both using the same color scheme. But it's not a big deal. Most of the pirate sets, though, in this particular series did have black and white sails. You could use your imagination and say maybe they took it from the soldiers, but technically that would not be true, because this is from another set. The Imperial Soldiers always had red boats in the vintage pirates, so that's the difference with that. I'll put him over there. The other really odd thing about this set is it actually has no oars. The pirates didn't actually get any oars, so they kind of just have to use the wind to move around. Maybe they did that because it gets a little bit crowded in the harbour, and having oars just would have taken up too much room. But still a bit surprising that they didn't include that. Just again, some very, very small things, but I don't really get the point of these rails. I think you either make a rail or you don't. Maybe they could have made like one on just one side, but it sort of looks a little bit random. And probably the last thing I was going to mention was the printed pieces. There's a lot of these pieces actually in the set with the three towers, but only 3 of them actually have you know, something printed on it. And like especially this one, you know, it's very visible. And I think maybe they could have added 1 or 2 more printed pieces. So let's now get into what actually I like about this set. Oh, the other thing is I was going to say the lights as well. Like, they look really good, but they didn't put them around the other side. Which brings me to what I want to say about what's good about this set. It's really complete. Like, I don't feel that they have cut, you know, too many corners. I mean, I mentioned that stuff just now, but, you know, generally, like, for example, you know, they've got ladders here, so the pirates can actually, or the soldiers can actually climb up. There's a ladder here, there's a ladder around the back. Even if you spin the base around, which, yeah, I might do, why not? You can actually see that it's oh, that was the other thing. I actually added pieces in there. There's a bit of a gap in there, which is a bit odd. But it actually looks pretty complete from all different angles. So even from the back, you know, you've got like ladders, and, you know, you've got a cannon facing out and all that sort of stuff. So there's the, you know, printed pieces, or lack of, that I was mentioning. But you know, they haven't sort of skimped on detail, I think. And a lot of the newer sets do. Like, for example, the newest base in 2015 actually doesn't have a back on the prison wall. I think it's the first time they've ever done that. So you really have to use your imagination. I mean, kids don't probably mind, but I know it's cliched, but they really did make these sets pretty good back in the day, so to speak. I really like the fact that it comes on 2 bases. Again, that seems to be something of the past, which is, you know, a real shame, I think, that LEGO don't utilize bases more. But it's really nice to actually have this sort of big blue area that things can sit on. I really like this ship. It was actually a lot bigger than I was expecting. It's quite big. There's a lot of pieces and detail that actually go into it, and it looks really nice. Even the back's sort of nice and built up, and it's even got a little rudder. It's really quite nice and complete, and as I said, it adds another dimension to the pirate universe. Even a little door thing that can go up. Which brings me to the next thing that I like is there's just so much to move and play around with in this set. There's sails that can move around, and you've got cannons that shoot and fire and spin around. There's doors that can open. You've got 2 cranes that can this one can go up and down and can also spin around. This one is a bit useless really because it just kind of goes up and down. But it can still sort of load things from like ships if they come around this side. The hatch opens up on this door as well. So there's a lot that actually can move around, and there's plenty of luggage as well. I mean, this is meant to be a harbour. It's meant to be a trading fort. So you get like lots of these little things that can attach to the crane. You get a couple of other little. Sorry, I know I'm going quick here. It's got a couple of other like brick things that you can attach. You get a treasure chest there. You actually get another treasure chest in the trading fort. So there's really, you were really lucky to get this set as a kid. I only, of course, bought it the other day as an adult now. But yeah, I don't think my parents could afford a set like this when I was young. It's just very big as well. It's quite large. It does get a bit crowded. It actually looks a bit empty without the stuff in the harbour, but once you actually put everything in, then where's my pirate boat gone? Yeah, put the soldier boat in there. You get that in there as well, so it's pretty cool. And one of the other things that I forgot to mention as well, which I only recently realised it does, is this bridge actually goes up and lets things. I added those 4 bars in there; they're not meant to be there. And so the boat can actually come through there. So that's a really cool feature. In terms of the minifigures, you actually get 9 minifigures, which is pretty generous. There's not too many sets that have more than 9. So you actually get a governor, you get a sergeant, and you get 2 Imperial Soldiers, or 2 Imperial Guards, which is there and there. You then get 3 merchants. So there's one there. They kind of look like pirates, admittedly. Maybe they were hired by the merchant. And then you get the 2 pirates. So personally, I would have liked to have scrapped the pirates and instead had an Imperial Soldier boat with 2 more soldiers. Because 4 soldiers for a set this big is a little bit thin. But I understand why they did it. I mean, kids want to buy this set and have pirates to play with as well. And you can't sort of assume that people are going to go out and buy more sets. So I do understand why they did, and I think it was the right decision. But personally, once you collect a lot of other sets, you kind of, you've got enough pirates. You sort of want more soldiers. The other thing I thought I'd point out is that this guy is actually, in my opinion, the rarest vintage Lego pirate figure, because he only comes in this set and the Skull's Eye Schooner, and they're both very, very large and expensive sets. So if you do buy this set and it's missing this guy, be prepared to have to search long and hard and pay a lot of money to get him, because he is very hard to get. Now I'm sure I'm going to miss some stuff that I wanted to say about this set, but before I forget, the one thing I did want to show quickly is just a comparison of size. And as I've said in some of the other videos, the ships are really quite big compared to the bases. So I don't have the red and white Imperial ship released in the same series, but that's the Caribbean Clipper. So you can see it's pretty much the same length as the base. And if I put the... This is going to be interesting, trying to grab it in one hand. It's pretty heavy. Let me just... Sorry. There we go. That's the Skull's Eye Schooner. So you can see it is easily bigger. It basically comes from the edge up until the bow of the ship, the trading post at the back. So that's how big it actually is. So the ships do dwarf it, but you can still have some interesting kind of battles and things. So I didn't want this video to be longer than, actually it's already longer than I was hoping. But I'll quickly just show, I don't have the box, but I do have the manual. So that's what the manual looks like. It's pretty tattered, but it's all still in one piece. That's an alternate build. There's no instructions for that, but it's a pretty standard manual. So I'll put all the information about this set, like number of pieces and year and all that sort of stuff, in the description of this video, as well as the links to the other videos that I've done. But overall, it's a great set. It's, Lego's trick is to make things, the same but different. And the Eldorado Fortress is a very traditional kind of castle-like fortress. This is more of a harbour, and they're quite different. They're both good. These are obviously the red coats. Eldorado Fortress, the blue coats, but very good sets. And this is one of the most famous Lego sets, and certainly one of the most famous Lego pirate sets ever released. So hope you enjoyed the review. Happy to answer any questions. Love to see your comments about what you thought or what you remember about this set. And thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.